Hello and welcome to Onesies, a podcast of one season wonders and blunders. My name's Andrew,
My name is Emily.
and we are back discussing the 1984 ABC sitcom Three's a Crowd, aka Three's Company 2. We're back talking about episodes 15 and 16, Private Lessons, and
Private
One
lessons.
Ego to Go. And
Wow.
so we will kick it off with Private Lessons, which is the story of.
So let me just start by
Okay.
saying I thought this was going to be the worst episode this week, when in fact it was the next one. You disagree?
Um,
Your face says
no,
disagree.
in hindsight, yes, but I would say that they're bad episodes in different ways.
Okay.
Um,
I didn't think this one was so bad, except actually both of these didn't really have the misunderstanding problem that we have. It's just kind of
right.
Jack being dumb,
Or
um,
Jack deceiving someone.
or Jack deceiving someone. Again, I really think this first one could have been handled by a conversation, like a simple conversation with a 22-year-old saying, "Hey, I'm 36. um I don't want to go out with you." Like, okay, whatever. So we open with Easy and Jack in the kitchen at the restaurant, and Easy is on the phone. He's excited. "You got a date," he says. And that's when Jack enters, and Easy immediately turns to him and is like, "Jack, I'm all upset. I don't know what to do." And it turns out the date that he has is with a college girl.
She's in a sorority.
She's fancy and smart and beautiful and in a
Emily,
sorority.
what did you think of the last Fellini? We'll get to it.
Um, and so he asked Jack for help being more sophisticated to go out with this sophisticated woman, because he has only ever gone out with surfers, with girls with zinc on their nose. Um, and Jack immediately like gets into action and starts teaching him how to I don't want to say how to date a sophisticated woman, but just like how to go out on a more formal date than one might.
Manners. He's
Yeah, I
teaching
mean
him,
it's just basic manners,
basic
but
manners.
it's very sweet. I found the scenes kind of sweet, except when he's like crashing Easy for the way he laughs and stuff. Like that was kind of, I mean, it is annoying, but that was a little much, right? Putting your hand over his mouth, like don't touch somebody's mouth. Um, but he's giving him lessons like, what would you say when you picked her up? You see her coming down the stairs. What would you say? And then he corrects him when he does the like cartoon wolf auga goofy noises thing. And, how do you get her into the car? And you take her by the hand and you take her around. You open the door for her. Again, basic manners. Then they sit down at a table and they're talking about small talk. So this was my first sort of like, what is going on? Um, Jack says that small talk is the hardest part of a date. So this is what you got to do. He's not making any small talk. He's just taking her by the hand, telling her how beautiful she is, smelling her hair, which is a thing, maybe. I don't know. That's not small talk. Am I crazy?
So I think the reason that this episode I just didn't have the um patience for like the displeasure of what we get into the characterization of the sorority girl. But like we watched Dolomite is My Name last night,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a period piece set in the 70s, presumably starting before women could have checking accounts and after women could have checking accounts. And so and Three's a Crowd is all like, we haven't gotten into this, but yes, this is the, adjustment to an independent a financially independent young woman. And
Yeah.
that'll sort of play in next episode. Though, if her father's a millionaire, no, it's not. No, that's not what this is. But anyway, so, Dolomite is my name. You have these just the sort of contending with the static, like, reality of the 1970s and like popular culture and just things like that. Like, it's a lot when you sort of think about the agency of the women involved.
Yeah.
So when we get around to this, and at this point, as soon as they started doing small talk, I'm like, there's going to be a gay joke. It's dad with a gay joke.
It
It's
is,
not
but it's
it's
not
not
super,
bad. It's
it's not
not
bad. They were
it's
This is the second time they've done something, a gay reference, or I don't even want to call it a joke. And it's not good, but it's not bad.
this is not bad. This is nothing like
Jack is demonstrating how to hold the woman's hand, and by holding Easy's hand,
right.
and they're kind of close across the tables, and Mr. Bradford sees it and says something.
But this is like, as you mentioned last episode, their physical comedy comfort
Yeah.
level with each other,
Yeah.
we see it on display here. It's a
Yeah.
bad episode. um
But
and they,
especially this first scene, like I
this
found
first
it,
scene was
it's good. It's like
fine, yeah.
smooth. There's a few things I didn't like, but I thought Jack was being kind of charming and like, yeah,
He wasn't saying anything creepy.
yeah,
Like, we did get creepy, like surfer girls put out on the first date was implied. But the I was expecting, stupid me, this to somehow juxtapose with something in Jack and Vicky's relationship. It
yeah.
will not.
So so Mr. Bradford comes in, catches them. Easy asks him for some advice because, and this I found funny too. I found not funny, but interesting is, oh, Easy's got a date with a college girl, and I'm trying to teach him how to act around a sophisticated woman. And Mr. Bradford's like, what do you know about how to act around a sophisticated woman? Completely dismissing his daughter, who he is dating and living with. Like, I found that to be a pretty big hole in the plot. Like, I understand we're constantly ragging on Jack Tripper for not being good enough for his daughter, but this is a time when you could be like, I mean, I guess you scored with my daughter. I guess you got her somehow. It's
And then Jack could be like, yes, it's my magic cock, as we established in the first episode of the show, but not the pilot. So, and actually, we will get that.
a
We'll
little
get
bit.
a little
Yeah.
bit. Like, Jack is like Ash from Army of Darkness. Like, like, he's just a very, like, the swagger is very interesting. And that, we'll get to it. For Vicky's cameo.
Yeah. She's
Because
barely in this
why
one.
the fuck did they not show up? We'll get to it. Like, this is a really bad episode in terms of, you had this shit built, right? Like, they have multiple sets going. They
Hmm.
have a lot of extras. They have the most extras ever. We also, is this the episode where we see the most of the restaurant? We have a
I
lot
think
of people
so.
in the restaurant.
Yeah.
So we cut to, but also in the scene with Dad, we established that Easy's going to have dinner at Jack's Bistro instead of Mr. Bradford's suggestion, because Easy was like, I'm going to tell him you're my best fucking friend, bro.
Yeah.
He's like, no, take her here.
Yeah.
So we then cut to them coming in. Maybe
We know
Vicky.
we cut to the restaurant again that whatever night they're supposed to be having dinner, and Vicky comes in first. She's going to work. Um, she says, "Oh, Easy's not here with his date yet." And Jack says no, she's going to work, but he seems surprised by that. Like he's doing single duty, like or double duty as waiter and chef. Like he's preparing the food in a suit. I don't know how if that clears you know, code.
No,
Um but
no.
he's also delivering it. There's nobody else in the kitchen, so he's doing double duty.
It's yeah.
So Vicky's leaving and he's like, "Well, what am I supposed to do tonight?" And I thought he was talking about what am I supposed to do? Like I thought you were going to help me in the restaurant. But Vicky's like, "I guess get a good night's sleep," which is the most solid joke in this whole thing. Like it's I think it's because she said it and not him that it makes it just like a solid, well, I'm not going to be around to fuck all night, so have fun sleeping. You're like, I thought that was a solid joke from her. Good for her.
And then she
Um,
leaves,
and then she leaves. And then she leaves and she doesn't come back until the very end of the episode.
which I don't even remember at this point. But it's like I guess Jessica Walter was like, you can just not be an episode, so they have to pay you the full rate. And she's like, what? And Jessica Walter's like, no, seriously, like if they want to do an episode with those two, let them fucking do it, dude. You get the money. We'll
Yeah.
drink. We will drink. And she's like, cool, let's drink. But yes, so it's like this show's not quite as what's the example? The Curse of Scream 3, where Nev Campbell only agreed to be in it for 25 minutes and it's a fucking 107-minute movie. So and she's the main character.
Yeah.
So like it breaks the fucking movie. Like it's just a broken going in, which is actually a lot of movies of that era, which is why those movies often suck. Anyway, um, if Vicky, like this, the disappearance of Mary Catterett should have more impact on the experience of this television program.
Yeah.
It does not, and
Mm.
that's fucking bad. Like,
But I'm glad she got a good line in
yes,
before she leaves because her coming back at the end, I was unsettled by um, the resolution to the show. Um,
excellent, because I don't remember, so this is gonna be great when we get there.
yeah. So uh, Jack goes back out. Easy comes in with his date. Jack seats them. Is introduced to what's her name? I forget her name already.
Um, nope. Olivia?
Olivia, Olivia something. Thank you. And you know, Jack is doing his charming thing as much as he can. Uh just I mean, in my mind, I see him, he's a waiter, you know, and he owns this bistro and he's being charming to try to get people to eat and stay and drink and spend money. Um, it becomes evident very quickly that Olivia is interested in Jack more than she is in Easy.
She is not interested in Easy at all. We the
I was,
details of the setup are that his friend him up with her cousin. And so it's
yeah,
like basically a um
and he's putting into practice the things that Jack taught him, which,
yes.
but it's coming across kind of like forced. Obviously, it's not great, and at this point, I'm thinking, oh, she just wanted some fling with some surfer dude, and now she's being faced with this guy who looks actually he looks like in this scene where he's wearing like a suit, one of the fraternity guys we see later in the episode. But she is clearly not having a good time. But when Jack talks to her and makes little jokes and whatever, she is smitten. Um, they both order the chicken or l'orange, and uh,
I mean,
Jack can tell that she's not having a good time with Easy, so he sends Easy back to choose a bottle of wine for the table.
let me pause.
Yeah,
This is not some sweet um attraction thing. Like she's got, she's in heat.
Yeah.
It's very quickly inappropriate. Like there's a couple sitting behind Easy and the date. They stand out because they're the first black folks on the show in a few episodes. But they're sitting there having dinner and they don't get to talk because nobody in the restaurant gets to talk in the background. That's at the sorority party. But they do react to Easy's laugh. They react to like his weird behavior.
Yeah.
They should be watching this chick grind up on Jack. And it's not. And like it's a missed opportunity. Again, Dave Powers, shockingly bad at this job.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you know what, Malcolm Gladwell? Something else you're wrong about? Dave Powers. There you go. Uh anyway, so Easy sees them and is just like, holy shit, Jack's macking on my girl.
Yeah. So
I'm
no.
out of here.
Just a second. So Easy goes back to get the wine, and Jack sits down across from Olivia and says, I wouldn't say this with him here, but he's a really solid guy. He's really nice. He loves his work. He loves to serve. Like, he's a good dude. And Olivia's like, I don't care. I am more interested in you. Like, she is pretty straightforward about her intentions. And this freaks Jack out. Um, and instead of being like, whoa, I've got a girlfriend, I'm not interested, or just I'm not interested, um, he just gets awkward and doesn't do much. And like, I don't know, like, there's a point where he could very easily just communicate, I'm not interested, and he
And
doesn't.
he doesn't ever communicate the girlfriend. Like the
Yeah,
girlfriend
until
thing
the
comes
end, or until like
way too late.
you're way too late.
Um yeah, it's just
It was I understand we need to push the plot forward. I understand that this is a comedy of misunderstandings. But this was the thinnest misunderstanding, like the most easily resolved misunderstanding.
yeah, like
You could
this
nip it
could,
in the bud right away. And
if Easy had reacted in, any other way, it could have been something. Like, yeah,
yeah,
so if I thought Mary Carteret was going to come in because she forgot something.
I
Mr.
I thought
Bradford could come
Mr.
in.
Bradford, or I thought Easy would just be like, Jack, what are you doing? You got a girlfriend. And like, then it would be over, right? I mean, except that she's raring to go. But that doesn't happen. And instead, Easy sees Jack, and Olivia thinks that he's putting the moves on her when in fact it's the other way around. And instead of asking any questions, again, second misunderstanding that could be resolved very easily, he just leaves. He leaves out the back door. So they don't see him leaving. Um then do we cut to the next day and they're in the restaurant again?
Yeah, we cut to the next day, and now, okay, they're cut to the next day. Jack is getting the restaurant ready as a one-man show again,
Mhm.
which is, I just feel like this would have actually been the worst fucking restaurant, right? Like, the food's all, kind of like airport hotel fancy, but also kind of thrown together and like a little bit underprepared or something. It's just like it just because Jack's getting out buns or something in the morning. I'm like, why are they baking their own bun? Like, how did you do this show without anybody who ever worked in a kitchen? Did
And
that work?
also, if you're thinking about it, I mean, this is the first time, this is the most customers we've ever seen in the
Yeah,
bistro. But if you're thinking, if they're making fresh rolls for the table, like, and they have as many seats as they have, which isn't a lot, but like 15 seats turnover, let's say every hour and a half. I don't know how much time, like, that kitchen is not big enough to prepare and store food. It's not big enough to do any of that.
no.
It's wild. I just thought of that. Like,
Emily, is this a bad show?
it's a bad show. I mean, things don't have to be like super accurate, but it's always nice when things are, you know?
Or at least like this isn't something that you're getting that like it just unforced. It's not quite an unforced error, which is just this that's a sports phrase, right?
I don't
Is
know.
oh, I was very proud of myself. I think it's a sports phrase.
What is it?
Unforced error. It means
Okay.
when you fuck something up for no good reason. Um,
Oh, error. Error. Yes, a
error,
mistake in
error.
sports, tennis, and pickleball. Okay.
What about chess? Pin in that, folks. Okay, so but Easy comes in and is like Jack's like, hey man, what happened to you last night, man? Uh 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 you just left. I had to take that girl home. Dude, where's our fucking scene of them getting pulled over because she's got her top off or something? Because she's
He's
thrown his
trying to give him
pants out the
roadhead and
window.
he's like swerving all down
Right.
Wilshire.
Like,
Yeah.
did they cut this? Did like Ron Howard somehow see this and was like, I'm doing that for Parenthood? Like, there should have been something there. That's like, that's the show, right? That's where the story would have continued, but we don't do that. Instead, we now have Easy moping around the kitchen. Jack,
Calling him sir, calling him Mr. Tripper.
and this is, I think, because Easy's not in the next one significantly, is he?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so this is the one where I realized that Alan Campbell had gone to like, acting high school or whatever, because he will show a lot of range and close up in this episode with zero motivation for it. And he does convey like he's cute by the end, which is
Yeah.
weird. Like
Yeah.
and it's like he hasn't not been he's bad and the show's bad, so that affects his potential likability, right? But like this is the first episode where they've kind of last time they did them teaming up, but this time they have them teaming up and it's about EZ being the likable dope type
Yeah.
thing. Um, and that is it's not a, top 20 sitcom stereotype, but it's top 25. Like that piece of shit on Step by Step was this guy.
Yeah.
So they quickly resolve it.
Jack lies to him and says, "Oh, she was just trying to make you jealous," because I'm guessing because he doesn't want to hurt his feelings and tell him the truth that she just doesn't like him. But that's never his intention is never stated. But for some reason, he lies to the guy to get his hopes up. Then she walks through the door
And
and she says, "Hey, Easy, what happened to you last night?" And I forget what he says.
I kept the blouse.
Oh,
Some lady
oh,
told me to always keep the blouse.
he said, "I had another date with a woman, real Brooke Shields lookalike, couldn't keep her waiting."
To
Um,
which Olivia's like, cool, I want to fuck Jack right
yes.
now.
And then she goes
Here,
to
actually.
then she goes to Jack and she invites him to her sorority's open house. I don't know if this is a thing. And says dancing, uh food, drinks, and he's like, I'm not gonna come, I'm not gonna come. Like every time she keeps going, he's like, nope, I can't make it, I'm not gonna go. Regardless, she gives him the address and the time and then leaves, like exit.
Yeah. Um, again, Jack Tripper, the person, the character, the icon, has been doing this shit for 10 years, has been in these situations for 10 years. And this is the show that it started as being about a couple, a modern couple living modernly, has descended into, season 7 Three's Company subplots. It's real bad.
Yeah. I didn't I didn't mind it. I was confused by her persistence when he kept saying no. And
Because she's not a person.
yeah,
She's a sex bot. It's like
she
it's
she she simply her persistence exists simply to move the plot forward.
yeah, it's terrible shit. Like
Yeah.
this is the shit that, Joyce DeWitt would, I don't know, hopefully do yoga about or something. Like this is the gotta be it's just bad fucking sitcom shit from this
Yeah.
era. And even when you think about the good versions of this, like say MASH or Cheers, it's not that much better for the characterization of the ladies.
Yeah.
It's it's strange that in hindsight something like Friends didn't seem as revolutionary at the time, but
Yes.
it is, if the ladies got equal screen time and equal amount of lines, that was revolutionary, right?
And
Like,
they were getting paid a shit ton of money, all of them, but
yeah, but they were all
they were
getting
getting
paid
paid.
the same amount and shit.
Yeah.
And
And
it
Sex in the
like,
City was I think the more revolutionary show, I
yeah,
think.
well, yes, but Friends was on
But Friends was on
network,
network. Yeah.
and Friends had that resurgence with the millennials or whatever
Hmm.
when they wanted to see what life was like. I don't think Sex in the City has had that type of, I don't think we're growing a lot of new Sex in the City fans.
No, I think with the new show, whatever it was, there was a resurgence. I had been
Okay.
seeing and hearing a lot more about it.
Okay.
I've never watched it, so I don't care, but
The
I don't
Sex
know
in the
why
City heads were
I felt
quiet.
the need to say that I didn't care about Sex in the City. Or Friends for that matter. But so she leaves. Mr. Bradford comes in at some point. Oh no, before Mr. Bradford comes in, Easy's like, "Oh, I saw exactly what she was doing. You said she was trying to make me jealous, and there she did it again. So I should go to this party." She gave the address because she wants me to go to this party. So that's what I'm going to do to try to win her over. And then Mr. Bradford comes in at some point. Maybe he had seen Olivia and he's like, "What, why does she want to go out with Easy? Did she like hit her head or something?" Like make some disparaging remark like that. That's his sole purpose. Um except oh no, he gives Jack the idea like Jack's like, "Actually, she's kind of into me." And he's like, "What the fuck is wrong with her? Like, she's got the worst taste ever." It's like, "Oh, she thinks I'm mature." And, Mr. Bradford's like, "Well, she didn't see you at the country club last weekend." And then they describe a bunch of scenarios where he's dropping things, things are falling. I don't know, he's being a
The
fumbly.
world's greatest physical comedian.
He's being the world's greatest physical comedian in a country club setting, making a mess. And Jack is like, "Oh, that's a great idea. If I went to this open house and acted like that, she wouldn't be interested in me anymore."
Okay.
In reality, he could just not contact
Go.
her or reach out to her. And if she persisted, have the conversation. And if she continued to persist, have a conversation with the police. Like,
So I just remembered the ending of this episode.
yeah,
Fuck this episode.
yeah.
Anyway, so
I think
uh,
we cut to the sorority party.
we come
There
to the
might be
sorority party, and so Mr. Bradford, I kept thinking he had to be in this episode for some fucking reason other than he and Mary Carteret, she won the coin toss this episode, and he didn't have to be in it because he's been really fucking one note since Jessica Walter left.
Mhm.
And since he had that one episode with the young
With
chick
the
and
artist.
the artist, then he had the Bickersons episode with Jessica Walter. They didn't do that again, and now he's been reduced to like he's Quagmire showing up to, or the guy on Married with Children, no, what was it, Home Improvement, oh, Kramer, right? Like he
Oh,
shows
Kramer.
up
Yeah.
for a second, but he's like first season Kramer. He shows up to
Deliver a
perturb the
line.
plot, deliver a line, perturb the
Yeah.
plot, and then
Disappears.
disappears.
Yeah.
But I thought that they were going to take advantage of the fact that he thinks young chicks want to fuck him because he comes off in this episode. They make fun of his courting technique,
Yes.
being old fashioned, and it's he was being like sweet to easy. Mr. Bradford's courting technique is to fucking manipulate your loan so you fuck him.
Yeah.
That's his courting technique.
That's
His
the
courting
courting
technique
technique from like episode 3. But in this,
episode
it's more
2.
like holding hands, going for a walk, listening to the sound of the crickets. It's very sweet.
I mean, it's fine. And he's like, here's it's just, and that would have been a far funnier conclude a double date with Easy and the girl doing that, and then Jack fucking it up would have been a far better conclusion.
Yeah.
But that could
Or
not have
like Jack on
happened.
a rowboat
Yeah,
with like a recorder and Easy with something in his ear and Jack's telling him what to do every step of the way. And then Jack like falls out of the rowboat or something. Like
and
that would be
Jack is supposed to be on a date with Mary Carteret though, and he's trying to hide
mm,
that from her while telling Easy things. So Easy's feeding the new chick, but that'll get fucked up somehow. Like, I don't know. But then sorority chick can be after them on a speedboat. This is,
yeah.
the biggest budget conclusion to this show ever. It's the Miami Vice of Three's a Crowd. So the party scene, that's what I forgot I was going to say. I thought this was going to be good. I'm an idiot. I'm a fool. I
Well,
thought
when you hear anything about Greek life and a party, you do not expect what this is. This is
so
not your typical like sorority fraternity party.
it's
This
not
is
even that. It's that they promised us uh Jack Tripper fucking the joint up,
oh.
and he doesn't fuck the joint up. But yes, it is
Until he
also
goes out the door, which again, a decent piece of physical comedy. Shut up. Uh, so he shows up. He's wearing some Letterman jacket that's laying around. It just says SC on it. I don't know. He
it
says he's
was
in
on
this. Oh, SD. Excuse me.
SD San Diego, and it was on the chair during the opening
Yeah,
scene
during the opening scene,
because we've retconned in Jack's time at USD or something. Like it makes
UCSD.
no
Yeah,
UCSD.
but he says that he's from the School of Dentistry. So first of all, we get this kind of from a distance easy lookalike checking in with the traditional like 80s like blue blazer uh khaki pant look. He's checking in. He gives his name, what fraternity he's from, to the house mother presumably, who's checking people in. And then Jack, he's got his San Diego jacket on and he says, Jack Tripper, School of Dentistry. And then he gives a big grin. I'm here to see so and so, Olivia Wells. And I don't know how he learned her last name. Um, and she's like, "Oh, well, isn't she popular? Another person is here to see her too." And Jack goes in, and it's Easy kind of standing decent way inside the door, but like seemingly bewildered by what's happening around him. Now, this sorority house looks like an old lady's house. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Not an old lady's house that I've
Dude,
been to, but like a rich old lady.
these are just it's just a Republican sorority.
It's so weird.
Like
Nobody is trashed. Nobody is dressed scantily.
it's a
Um
sorority, not a frat party.
it doesn't make sense to me. I am confused. It's a little
Okay,
too peaceful. It's a little too tea party.
so
Like it.
here's okay. I am going to explain this as far as I understand it based upon my knowledge of almost 50 years on the face of the earth. the way, according to movies and probably a couple books I've read, the way courting works in college with sororities and frats are, it's not always, they have to be good and show up for these things so they can like get their picture in the sorority newspaper for when they're a Republican mayor in 30 years. These aren't the sorority girls that they're going to rape. These are the sorority girls they're going to marry. And so there is like a formalized courtship thing, or at least like people getting together. Like, so I think it's that. I don't
Okay.
think it's because I've seen Revenge of the Nerds multiple times in my life. The last time being when I was like, he's raping her. This is not okay. That this was a hit.
Yeah.
But any and so
It looks to me like when the party's over, they're going to push the tables together and play bridge. Like, this looks
yeah,
like old ladies inviting their granddaughters over to have a party. Like, it is
yeah.
so weird. I hated it. Anyway, Jack and
Not
Easy talk.
every sorority was like yours, Emily.
I was never in a sorority. Easy and Jack talk. Easy formulates a plan, or excuse me, Jack formulates a plan to get Easy out of the way so he can try to turn Olivia off by being an asshole. So he takes Easy into some room and just has him sit on a
It's
couch.
the hallway. It's the entry
There's
lobby.
nobody else there.
Nobody else there.
Really weird. And we don't come back to him for a minute, but when we do, he's just sitting there silently. Very strange. Um, then he starts dancing. Jack starts dancing with Olivia. Olivia's putting the moves on. Jack is like, I have a girlfriend. She's like, I don't care. I'm not going to tell anybody, which throws him off because in his mind, no doesn't mean no, right? Presumably, it's 1984.
You forgot he rips open his shirt once he
Mm,
drops off Easy and decides to get, that's when he gets funky.
get a little wild.
Yeah, he gets wild.
He asks for
So
beer. She says they only have wine. He finds a beer somehow.
this was kind of funny, but only because of trivia I was reading yesterday. So she's like, "Is that a beer or something?" He's like, "Yeah, it's the fourth. It's I've had four of them already." Like, so he's drinking, and there's a story about Steve McQueen talking to Steven Spielberg about doing Close Encounters, and Steve McQueen was just drinking can of beer after can of beer during conversation and turned down the part because he can't cry on demand
Hmm.
and would not let Spielberg cut it to get him into the movie because it was the best scene in the movie, which agree. Richard Dreyfuss, piece of shit. Can you please stop talking for some reason? Anyway, then this scene, I don't remember all of the stuff, but we keep cutting to Easy, a quiet girl, like
Cute,
there's
sheepish,
sheepish, that's the word. She sits down, they quickly have a
form a
shared,
rapport.
yeah, they have a nice meet cute, and she loves his laugh. And so,
And they
like,
start talking about surfboard. He's talking about surfing, and she's
yeah,
kind of taken with his knowledge of surfing. Like, how did you learn all of that? Oh my God.
versus with Olivia, where we didn't, I don't know if it was ever expressly stated, but he's not talking to her about surfing.
No, because he can't
This
be
is the
himself.
small talk, right?
Yeah.
This is the small talk
Yeah.
that we do. This
This
is
is
the
the
cut
small talk
stuff.
that we didn't
Yeah,
get. Yeah.
yeah. So then we go back into the party. Jack, she's into it. So how the fuck does he get out of there?
He um so this is where he's like, I have a girlfriend, and she's like, I don't care. And he's doing his best to dance kind of crazy and be obnoxious. And she thinks that he's putting everybody on. She's like, oh, this is so
Oh,
clever of you. I love that you're trying to like pull this off like you're some obnoxious bro, but you're not. You're such a sophisticated older man. And he realizes very quickly that one, she doesn't care that he has a girlfriend, and two, she's reading into his actions as being something completely different than they are. And it's literally like, he's like, "Oh, do you want to do some magic? Close your eyes." And she closes her eyes, and he's like, when you finish counting to three, I'll be gone. She counts to three, opens her eyes, and he's turning away, but he like knocks a table over because the table's right behind him. And then he knocks another table over on his way out, and he finally gets out. Like that's how he leaves. Funny, funny physical comedy, but this is a man who is panicking. A grown man who is panicking because he cannot get this woman to stop talking to him. In fact, he keeps showing up, which is only going to encourage her. Whatever. So that, oh no, 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 no. But first we see before all of that happens, we see Easy dancing with
Oh yeah,
the other girl. After Jack has just told Olivia, "Oh, Easy thinks he thinks the world of you. There's no other girl for him." And then they bump into Easy and the other young lady who, they're canoodling, like they're dancing very close. And Easy says he's in love, and then eventually Jack leaves. Um, then we cut to, is it home or is it, I think it's home.
isn't it the kitchen? Isn't
I
it
don't
the
know.
restaurant kitchen?
I don't know. And this is when Mary Cataract comes back,
Yeah,
and she's like, "Oh, what did you do without me?"
he's
And
like,
he got her flowers because there was a conversation about how he never gets her flowers anymore, right? Or is that in
I
the next
never
one?
got her flowers in the first place.
Yeah. So she's like, "Oh, what are these for?" And he's like, "This is so you know that I love you. If we get a phone call from Olivia, just remember you're the one that I love." And then it's like, haha, but also explain to your girlfriend what happened. Like, don't just leave it at that. And I'm sure that would have happened, like she would have asked, because she is the type of person to be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Why would some other woman be calling you? Who is this other woman? And what the fuck happened?" Like she would ask for clarification. So I hate that they left it like
Yeah,
that. I hated that. Whatever.
we could have had something like we could have gone through. Mary Cataract comes through the front or comes downstairs, sees Z on the date with the new girl, goes into the kitchen, sees Jack. He's shocked because he thinks it might be what's her face, even though we already did that 2 episodes ago, but we could do that again because fuck it. Like it could be a recurring bit because that's what Jack, like apparently that's what this episode's gonna alternate between man-child Jack, guest star lady of the week trying to fuck Jack.
Yeah.
Like, cool, great show.
Yeah.
So and no subplots. I
No
mean,
subplots.
easy sort of, but that was like a splinter. Like that was anyway. So that's it. They kiss. She tries asking questions. He kisses them away because magic dick. And now it's time to talk
One
about
ego
the
to
next
go.
episode. What
Yeah,
do you
you thought that one
know?
was bad, folks.
We will try not to I'm out of digressions, I believe. So
We're just gonna plow through this one.
well, no, we'll see if anything pops up, but I do promise that I am out of anecdotes about other media that are not these fucking television programs. Okay, so the next episode is entitled
One ego to go.
One Ego to Go. Let's see here. We have so many locations now.
Yeah.
What this is Jessica Walter budget going toward locations or something like so where do we open? We open in the apartment with Jack trying to make time with Vicki, but her dad is there
And he's in
fixing.
the bedroom for some reason. Oh yeah, he's actually in the bathroom, but he comes out of the bedroom door for some reason. He's trying to get her to go, have a quick sneaky. And she's like, we can't go in there. And he's like, what are you talking about? And then dad comes out. Um,
So dad is there because he said, oh, he's the landlord. He owns the building.
he owns the building. He's there to fix a pipe that was burst or leaking. His solution to fixing it is which I did question, like he's in his normal suit. Like, how did he fix this pipe? Um, he didn't. He just put a pot underneath it. And he assures Vicky that he'll call a plumber. And Jack is like, what are you talking about? What do we do with the pot when it, again, what do we do with the pot when it's full? And Mr. Bradford's like, empty it, you fucking moron. Whatever. Um, also, Vicky mentions that the fire escape needs to be fixed. And I was like, where is this going? Um, Vicky, how does the competition thing start?
So
I forget how it starts. I literally just watched it and I can't remember.
she tells Jack about her raise.
Oh, she
Dad
got a raise.
tells
That's right.
she gets a raise. She gets $25 a week raise. I think she tells Jack about that before we see Dad.
Yeah.
Dad is super proud of it and is like, "Hey, man!" And Jack's like, "That's $100 a month." And Mr. Bradford's like, "Well, didn't know we could teach monk." Or they're like, "Wow, computers sure aren't going to take that brain." uh which is so Jack is stupid is a recurring bit on the show, and this
Hmm.
is the stupidest he's ever going to be. It's this very strange, and we oh shit, we forgot last episode the Fellini joke.
Yeah, we forgot the
um
Fellini joke.
so we're now gonna like do this weird class attempted class humor, but it's not really class humor. It's just that Jack doesn't have a Victorian education. Like the Fellini reference last time is the sorority girl who is presumably 20 to 22 years old. Uh,
Hmm.
talking about the latest Fellini movie in the year of our Lord 1984. Ginger and Fred and Ginger, whatever that one's
Was it
called.
Fred and Ginger? Really?
That was 85. The Ship Goes On's 82 or
I thought it
83.
I thought it was The Ship Goes On because isn't this 84 that the show's happening?
Yeah, yeah. So, but I mean, is that a that's a cultural reference that has been sort of around since I don't know the 50s, at least according to pop culture. So it's just really weird. And this episode has, we're going to get the trivia game, which
Mm.
is a great scene, just really riveting television. But Jack doesn't, oh God, no, there's a build up to the trivia scene, isn't there?
There is. So a couple of things. She gets her raise. She tells Jack, Dad already knows. She's wanting to go celebrate somehow. Let's go to dinner. Let's go dancing. He doesn't want to spend the money. And at some point, Mr. Bradford and Jack have a conversation alone about
Yes.
about it must be embarrassing for you as a man to not be the breadwinner. It must be embarrassing for your girlfriend to be so sophisticated and so you know capable and so smart and so this so that. So Mr. Bradford gets Jack all riled up in the worst way, um because then it becomes a show about the two of them competing. Like, or no, not even the two of them competing. It's Jack competing against her
And cheating to
because
win.
he has to prove that he is better in one way or another than his girlfriend in order to feel good about himself. Thanks to Mr. Bradford for planting this seed. So,
It's okay. So Mr. Bradford is going to leave. They don't go do anything. Don't they like start watch? No, he goes to watch television. Instead, they're going to stay home and play the board game instead of going out and having fun like Vicki actually wants to do.
Yeah.
This is, there's somebody in the writer's room who's around from the beginning of the series who's like, it's it's in the show Bible. The Jack always wants to stay home and fuck more on his one night off when Vicky wants to go out and do things. It's in the
So
show Bible.
so while I think you're right about, that being a typical thing, I think he doesn't want to go out to celebrate because
Yeah,
he thinks that by her paying because she's offered to pay, that somehow that's demeaning to him.
yeah. So, I mean, hey, you know what? This is probably a plot point in a show right now. They play now. I read the episode description and saw the trivia thing.
Yeah.
I might have thought there were other people there. Like I misremembered that there are going to be guests. We're going to have a fucking comedy set
two
piece
second a
finale.
2 second guest scene. It was so short. It wasn't 2 seconds, but it was so short. I hated it.
So we get the trivia game. It's, Timu Trivial Pursuit, right?
Yeah.
Like it's, prop department for Three's a Crowd, decent work type thing. But then we get Jack and Vicky together, and I thought we were getting back to the beginning, like to the show being about them.
No, my friend, I'm sorry. That is not the case.
So the description of the episode says she beats him at Trivial Pursuit, basically.
Right.
She doesn't beat him, he gets one right. She gets 48 or something right. She gets cribbage times two right
Yeah.
because the prop department for the scoring like glued together generic cribbage boards. We're like, here,
Yeah.
just fill them up.
And it
It's
was and it was a hodgepodge of different things. Like it did
it
not look
was
like Trivial Pursuit. And that's okay. That's
madness. Yeah, it was,
fine.
but they would have had to been playing all night. Like again, you could have Dave Powers,
So
really bad at
we get a sampling of questions. They're all fairly easy. Vicky plays it off like, oh no, it's just luck. I just got questions that I could answer. But they're all fairly easy questions if you graduated middle school, right? What's the longest river? And I don't know. I can't even
the
think of them.
there's a pop culture one though, or not pop culture, political.
Political.
There's like
The
who's
last one.
but also the art one. I feel like there's at least one art one that would be, or was the answer just Baroque?
I don't remember that. I don't remember
Was
that
that
question.
I feel like there was a different question that okay. So Vicky smokes Jack and Jack's got no idea. Even the sports one he fails at. She has to give him another turn. He's
It's
acting
this
like
because the
a
sports one,
child.
he's
It's
acting like
about
a child. But
chess.
remember the sports one is about chess.
Yeah.
On Trivial Pursuit, it's like sports and games or sports and leisure or something like that. So he gets mad because chess isn't a sport. Football and baseball are sports, and he's got his pissy pants on, like he's being a real baby.
Okay. Now the show is that genre of it's like the lady's gotta have the younger hot wife in the sitcom has to have a kink for like babying a grown man because now and I didn't realize it started this early. They like set it up but don't do anything with it later to some degree. Like they don't do anything with it for Mary Catterat later.
Hmm.
But here we're getting the idea of her needing to massage his ego
At
because
some
he's
point, he asks her a question that she knows the answer to. And again, this isn't necessarily bad directing or bad acting, maybe. there is some indication based on the direction and her facial expressions that she
Oh
knows the
yeah.
answer. And then she very quickly decides that she's going to say the wrong thing or say she doesn't know or something like that. And she gets it wrong. And again, good for Mary Catterett. He like belittles her for getting it wrong. Like, oh, you idiot, you should have known that one. Because it's like, what is the safest form of travel? She's a flight attendant.
Yeah.
Flying is the safest form of transportation. So he belittles her, and she gets a good reaction shot there, where she's just like,
Well,
"What is this guy's problem?"
yeah. I mean, no, the thing is it's like you suck.
Yeah,
Like, and
who are
it's,
you to fucking criticize me for getting things wrong?
oh God.
Yeah,
So I don't remember how this ends. It ends the next day with Mary Catterett wearing this really weird sweater. Was it the second time we've seen it? But it's like a Christmas sweater, but it's not for Christmas. Like I can see that
yeah,
thing with like a red sweater with or green with a red, like it's got a ring around the neck and a ring around each elbow. Like there's a lot of sweater.
yeah.
Um and I can't remember if it's the second time. And I was getting used to her having better attire, but now we're going back to, you know, Three's a Crowd feels very syndicated for a network TV show, if you know what I was trying to say.
Can I interject something really quickly? I
Of
was
course.
listening to a clip of the Northern Exposure podcast. I forget what it is with Cutie Patootie and then Conservative Lady. Um, and they were talking about the wardrobe with the wardrobe person, and I found it really interesting. I'd never thought about it before, but they had like a small closet of clothes, each of the cast members. So like it felt like you were dealing with real people. Like they didn't
Mhm.
have different clothes all the time. You would see repeats. They were really lived in, and like I just found that really interesting. So like because it does feel like just somebody you see on the street, like, oh, I wear this shirt on Wednesdays or whatever, like it felt really, I just thought that was cool to think about. I had never thought about that before, especially nowadays when, especially prestige television
Yeah.
in finger quotes, when it's all about like everything is about selling a brand, right? So there's not necessarily brand logos or anything anywhere, but they're selling a brand and everybody's always in new things and it's always sexy and it's always I don't know, like it's interesting to think that on Northern Exposure they did it purposefully to make it feel like these are people you see every day. I liked that. Anyway,
Yeah.
back to Mary Catteret's terrible sweater.
Yeah, but yeah, so she lost the role of the rotation there. And
Yeah.
so she comes into the kitchen, Jack's being pissy. Easy makes a comment about him sucking at trivia. Then where does she go? What's the sequence of events here?
I don't remember this one
You,
as much
you,
for some
you just
reason.
watched it.
I know. I hated this one though so much.
Oh my God, he's such a. Oh, okay. Let me just. Okay. Oh no, they go to the carnival
Okay.
first.
So Mary Catterett
Ugh.
sees that there's a carnival happening at the beach and invites Jack to go along. And he's like, nah, I don't really want to go. And then she's like, well, they have this game, and there's a baseball throwing game. And he's like, oh, baseball? That's something I can win at. Because he, again, is ashamed to be losing to his girlfriend. Um, so then we end up at the carnival.
Okay, so do you think Jack is supposed to have thought he was going to be good at baseball because of previous experience? Or do you think he thinks baseball is something that is innate to a man,
Yeah.
comma, or do you think that thought never occurred to John Ritter, the actor?
I have no idea. I I
It's
I don't remember him.
he
ever playing baseball, but I wonder, or mentioning it from Three's Company, but I haven't watched Three's Company. So I don't know.
Yeah, but in the context of the episode, he's just seems to think he's going to be able to do baseball okay because he's a man.
And remember when they were playing trivia, he's like, sports, this is my area. I can do this. And he's talked about sports before. And sports are going to come back actually. But he's talked about sports in the past. Like he wants to stay in and watch football, you know. So this is a running theme on this show about him liking sports.
Sports.
Because remember, there was that episode where Mary Carteret wanted to do something romantic or go to a classical music concert or something. And
And he did the ear pod, yeah.
yeah,
Cool. So just you know,
sorry.
it's
Cool
just
guy. He's a
cool
man. He
guy.
loves sports.
He loves sports. What about them? Not chess. Okay, so Jack will not win the prize for Vicky. Vicky will win the prize for Jack. That will piss Jack off.
The
And
man running the booth, the carny running the booth, is because he's a fucking goddamn carny. He's getting Jack all riled up to try to spend more money, right? So he's like, "Oh,
but
the women had to win it for you." But he's really, really like needling him. It's
these
so
are
funny.
it's funny, but these are dollar games, and the
Yeah,
bit will not be that Jack spends all of the Vicky's $25 raise built in fucking like absurd humor.
yeah.
Instead, Jack will lose it before he throws his three balls and fucking get up and knock it over. Like,
So Jack tries, fails. Vicky tries, gets it on the first time. Jack tries again. The third ball flies back toward the camera, which I was surprised by. And instead of just like sucking it up and moving on, he jumps over the booth and starts kicking stuff over. Like, this is not a normal reaction. But like Mr. Bradford, the guy behind the booth is needling him about how the girlfriend is better at throwing baseballs. It was kind of funny. His reaction was not. That
yeah,
is
like, how do you
violent,
fuck
not
this
toward
up?
not toward a person, but like it's not good. If
He's,
that happened in real life, you would probably be scared.
he's throwing a temper tantrum.
Yeah, he's having a little pee pee time in his pants.
It's just like, okay, dude. So then we cut to home, the
Maybe.
restaurant. Do
I
we
don't
check?
remember, but I think it's the restaurant. Yeah, it's the restaurant because Vicky comes in and is like, "Oh, remember, my friends are coming over at
Yes,
three
at
o'clock,
3 o'clock for drinks on this
and
weekday.
I need you to make some appetizers."
And
And he's
don't
like, "Yeah,
forget the
cool."
wine that will never manifest.
And don't forget the
Uh,
wine. And she leaves. Jack has a plan. I'm going to the library, he says,
oh, that's right.
because one of these friends is a history professor and I have to bone up on my history so we can talk about it and I can be better at history than Vicky. So we have a matter of hours that he's going to read a fake history book that's just like random history facts.
Now, that could be a reference book.
It could be, absolutely.
Which
Absolutely.
we missed the scene where he has to steal it, and it could have been some great fucking scene with a recognizable guest star instead of
And not that I know anything about it, but when we do see the book, it doesn't have any markings of a library book.
no, it does not. It the fake that hey now props got that done. You'd be nice to prop. They've never been to a library. Props.
I'm
So
I'm
they're
just kidding.
poor props. You were not a happy person. Like, or maybe you were. Like, maybe it was a totally fun job. So then yeah, the solution is he's gonna have the book. It's gonna be behind it's a leave it to Beaver scene or something. It's a My Three Sons bit. Like it's something the son would do on Donna Reed and would also do Peter Brady would do it. Like
Yeah.
he's gonna read the book and use it to give and to not to give answers, except like he's not even gonna be slick about it for a second.
No.
He's gonna play his hand immediately because he just wants to humiliate his girlfriend
Yep.
in front of these strange in front of her friends who she has. It's kind of weird that like she's friends with this couple. Like he was her college professor, but she's friends with the wife. Like, was this a I mean, I finished watching Hacks. Is this just saying, okay, so
Okay.
just leave me hanging there. I'm just wondering
It's my
why
specialty, leaving
why
you hanging.
because the guy's theoretically Jack's age. I'm like, are they gonna bond over sports? Nope. Like,
No.
we're
They
gonna
give
just
the opportunity to, and
and do
he's
not.
and he's so like caught up in trying to outsmart Vicky that like he makes a mistake when he leaves the room. They start talking about football. Jack comes out as the guy is mentioning the Patriots, and Jack thinks he's talking about the founding fathers
And
era of American
this
history.
is
And then Vicky's like, we're talking about football. And I don't know.
and Jack's like, football? I believe you mean soccer de American.
He does
It's
not say that, but I don't remember how this scene ends.
oh God, you don't?
No.
They talk about eight like we go
They talk
from
about
US history to ancient
we
Rome.
they go to ancient Rome, US history to Russian Revolution
Yes.
or
And
pre-Russian Revolution.
we then get this Jack reading about it and giving the lines
He's
and
he's
having to go
reading
back.
from the book. So this is
It's
okay, so I have a problem with this. You said this could be a reference book. It absolutely could be a reference book. This is a like book of history facts. So he mentioned something about uh Alexander the Second and the serfs and blah 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 blah. And the guy's like, "Oh, you're interested in Russian history. This must be his area, right?" And so he starts asking questions. That book of facts is not going to go into detail, but this one, props team, does. So Jack goes back into the kitchen, opens half of the window while he's pouring wine or getting more appetizers or whatever he's doing in the kitchen, and literally reads from the book to answer the questions.
he's not pouring wine because the
He's
wine never appears. They mention
whatever he's
it.
supposed to. I don't know what he's
No,
supposed
he's
to be doing.
supposed to be doing the wine, and they never. It script girl was on strike that day. Like, nope, we
He's
never have
fussing with
wine.
something in the
He's
kitchen,
fussing
but
with hors d'oeuvres. And then Vicky's like, why are you talking so funny or something? She goes over and opens the thing, and he's standing
and
there
he's
reading the
exposed.
book.
Okay, I do remember this now. And then he's so humiliated by being discovered that he leaves. He just leaves.
I mean,
This is the biggest pissy pants episode for him. He is the biggest baby in this. He is humiliated and he leaves without saying goodbye to anybody. He just walks out the door. We don't see how the conversation ends with the friends. We just see Mr. Bradford over. They're talking about where's Jack? He's been gone for hours. It's getting dark. Where is he? Um, I forget what Mr. Bradford says, but then we cut to Jack outside in a park, sitting on a bench, muttering to himself, and an unhoused person comes over and sits next to him. He continues to mutter to himself when there's somebody right there. That's how upset he is.
Funhouse Man, played by the guy who plays the liquor store owner in Teen Wolf, which
Oh.
is an 80s big deal this show, if anybody had watched this show in reruns either.
So he's
uh,
muttering under his breath, like, who cares about Alexander the Second?
And the
Blah,
serfs.
blah, 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 blah. And the serfs, yeah, and the unhoused guy starts talking rather intelligently about why it matters, who cares, da 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 da. And Jack gets mad because the homeless guy who sat down next to him knows more than he does. Read a book, sir. Spend one night a week not fucking your girlfriend and read a book.
Make her read to you while you're doing things. Like, whatever. Figure this out because you don't. That's the problem with this show at this point is that Jack is just, he's got less fucking inherent intelligence than Homer Simpson.
Like,
Like,
like he has agency too. Like he runs a restaurant, he could do stuff. His his
apparently,
his girlfriend like leaves for long periods of time. Like go back to school, go to community college, learn something. Like you can do this.
right? Like, what the
It's
fuck is
so
going
weird.
on? Yeah.
It's so weird. Anyway, doesn't matter. He goes back to the apartment, but before he does, he stops at the kitchen.
But before we get to him coming back to oh, and it turns out the unhoused guy was just telling the surf information to get Jack to leave so he could
Right.
lay out on the
So he
bench.
could lay on the bench, even though there's another bench right next to him, completely unoccupied. Doesn't
Wants this
matter.
one. It's
Yeah,
warm.
maybe.
So then Jack, but before Jack gets there, Vicki calls down and checks in on EZ, and we get the intercom, which is fucking intercom's back, baby. It's a recurring bit.
I know. I never thought it would be, but there we go.
Uh, now it'll probably never be back again. So we shouldn't bet on it.
Well,
So she checks in on EZ. Jack
which
comes
is just
in.
to establish that it's still there.
Yeah.
The only reason this scene happens is to establish that it's still there. Because when Jack comes in to the kitchen, does he even talk to Easy?
Maybe.
I
Doesn't
don't know.
matter.
He hits the
Um
intercom button to talk to
to
Vicky,
Vicki.
and she overhears Mr. Bradford giving her some bad advice, which is to just do something to make him feel to make him feel good about himself. He's feeling down, he's upset. You just need to placate his ego. And she's like, I'm not. Before she says this, he unclicks the thing, he's mad. We cut up to the apartment and she's like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play games because she's got a fucking head on her shoulders. And she's like, I'm just going to go out and water my plants. And I was like, here it is, the fire escape. So Vicky goes out to water her plants. Mr. Bradford is leaving, runs into Jack, and tries to have a conversation with him. He's angry, shouts at him, goes inside, slams the door, and Vicky hears and is like, oh my God, Jack, you're finally home. And Jack is like, again, this fucking miscommunication bullshit. Ah, you, blah, blah, he's just throwing a little pity party for himself. Vicky, standing on the fire escape, something happens and she's falling and she's clinging onto the fire escape and she's shouting for help. He has his back to her and he's like, I know you're only doing this to make me feel better. You can stop. You're a bad actress. Like, I was like, you are being such a fucking prick right now. Then we see her fall. And
Mhm.
obviously, I know she wasn't going to die, right? I knew she wasn't going to die, but I was a little upset
Mhm.
seeing that. I was a little upset. And she screams, and he's like, well, actually, that's not a bad acting job. We cut to her. She had fallen into a dumpster. She's
Mhm.
covered in garbage and dirt and grit. She climbs out. She goes upstairs. Jack is still talking to her, thinking she's playing some kind of game. Covered. She walks in, covered in gross, and he's like, oh my God, you actually fell. And this is where they have the conversation where she's like, do you love me? Even though I'm smart and I'm good at my job and I have interesting friends with different interests and like all of these things, do you still love me? And he's like, of course I do. And she's like, cool, because I love you the way you are. You don't have to try to impress me. And he's like, go take a shower, you stink. Ba-da-ba, ba-da-ba. What a terrible show. This was the worst episode yet. I'm so mad. I'm so mad that I had to see her fall while he's being a shithead in front of her. I'm so sorry that she had to fucking resolve this after having fallen off.
Oh,
She had to fall off of a balcony and come back for him to realize that he was being a shitty person.
yeah,
It was really bad.
yeah.
It makes me wonder, how
Hmm.
much does he actually like her? If he thinks, after knowing, I guess they haven't known each other for very long, but if he thinks that she's the type of person who would play games with him to try to boost his ego, what he must not like her very much. I mean, this is like proto sitcom, like husband hating the wife and hating the kids and like hating his judge, just hating everything about his life and just wanting to go hang out with the guys. Like this is proto that, but this is that. It's that same thing. But it's also, I mean, whatever. I'm not a psychologist. He's transfer. I mean, this is the type of shit he would pull. He would lie. He would manipulate. Like this is all the
Yeah.
stuff that he does.
Jack Tripper voted for Trump, bro. Both times.
3 times.
3 times. Or maybe Jack Tripper died of COVID living in Florida
Or
um,
Texas,
with his
like
fucking
Meatloaf.
daughter's sorority sister as his latest fucking sitcom wife. Yeah, I think there are not a lot of sitcoms where the romantic leads like each other
Yeah.
in bulk. The times where they do, and that remains a cultural success. I'm thinking of like the Thin Man's movie series, which is the 1930s and 1940s. That's, they like each other through all of them. Ricky stopped liking Lucy in season 2. Um,
Dharma and Greg.
they stopped liking each other.
No, I think they do like each other. I think that's an
Oh,
example
okay.
of ones where they do like each other.
But like Will and Grace was like, no, you have to, one of them needs, they can't, it has to be friends thing.
Yeah.
Like we can't actually do, like it doesn't work.
You mean
Um,
Amos and Andy?
I've never seen Will and
That's what
Grace.
that's what Mr. Emily calls it.
Oh, nice.
It's the 90s Amos and Andy.
Have I mentioned on the podcast just related to terrible, terrible human beings on a certain issue? I now think I've figured out why the good wife, the Indian girl, broke up with Juliana Margulies. I think I figured it out. It's never come out, but I think I figured it out.
Hmm.
Anyway, I think, you'd figure stuff out like that with like guys like Walter Brennan figured out why he wasn't in a Sidney Poitier movie anymore, or vice versa, but not vice versa because anyway. So what the hell then? Oh
I think that's the
God,
end. That's the end.
we
Like
got
it's
through
result.
it.
I think we did. I don't think there's anything past her going to take a shower
Is
because she
there an
stinks.
implication of them fucking?
I don't think so. Maybe. There
That's
always
fucked.
is, right?
No, if there's not now, that's fucked up
I don't think there
because
is. I think I
she.
think I think he's like, go take a shower, you stink.
Oh God, she's like, I'd do anything for you. And he's like, would you? She's like, of course. And he's like, can you go take a shower, maybe? She's like, boop, boop.
So
Yeah,
that's it.
that's
Great.
it.
We made it
Uh,
through. Woo!
God, this
Cannot wait to see
show
what's
was
next.
really bad.
Yep. It was very, very bad. I hated it. Um, September Song is episode 17.
Oh my.
Let's see. Anybody? There's a judge involved. There's a bailiff. We're gonna have a
Oh,
black man who can speak. Probably. Hopefully, he'll have like 2 lines. Um, and then episode 18. Oh my God, we're so close. Deeds of Trust. Oh no. Okay. Oh. This is the one I've been waiting for. Richard Klein shows up as Larry, the pesky neighbor from Three's Company. So that'll be fun.
Jessica Walter will be in that episode as well.
Yep.
Be still my heart. So what that means is,
Larry's gonna ruin it.
no, this is the desperate move.
Oh, okay.
This is, come on now. We
I need
can
to get
get
your ratings
Larry
up.
back. We need them
Yeah.
ratings. Larry can come back once a year. It's like Frasier didn't have to do it for, they didn't do it for 2 seasons, but other shows, they have to play that card.
Yeah.
You bring the person back into the mothership, or you bring the mothership back into the spinoff, just
Yeah.
to, as a last ditch attempt
Yeah.
for renewal. And it did not work.
Did not
So
work.
back up
Spoilers.
for that failure.
Spoilers. This podcast about one season TV shows in this one we're doing currently doesn't get a second season. Well, I cannot wait.
Um,
Andrew, thank you for choosing this show and thank you for listening, folks. I'll see you in television, Andrew.
I'll see you in television land, Emily.
Oh, yeah. Whatever.
Land.
Land.